We are Nickel City Canine Rescue, and we are a foster-based rescue in the Western New York area. Many people wonder what that means, and what that means is that all the dogs that are within our organization are located in foster homes, which are spread across Western New York. So they don't currently reside in a shelter where you can go and visit them and meet them all at one time. The benefit of the foster homes is that these dogs are all living with a family. So they're adjusting to life in a home versus coming directly from a shelter environment where they may be scared or unsure, and bringing them into the foster homes allows them to decompress and adjust, and it helps the transition into their eventual adoptive home.
So many people wonder how the process works or don't necessarily understand it. We partner specifically with certain rescues or kill shelters down in the South. We also work with local surrenders in the area to save whatever dogs need help. They reach out to us, or we converse with them on Facebook to see what dogs are in need, and we send it out to our group of fosters. They can choose which dog they want to foster based on what works best for their family, and they let us know, and we place the foster with them, confirm with the rescue, and start to set up transport. What that entails is getting the dogs into the vet, get health certificates so they can cross state lines, heartworm testing, anything they need before they can come up, make sure they're healthy. We set up transportation from whatever shelter, whether it comes all the way from their shelter to us, or sometimes we get a van and meet them halfway ourselves. We make the list of what dogs are coming up, and then once we have a date, we start to prepare. So there's a lot of work that goes into it behind the scenes. We get food ready for every single foster. We get supplies. We supply them with crates, food, collars, leashes, toys, treats, anything the foster might need. They let us know. We make a folder for every dog, figure out what vaccinations are needed, give them whatever vaccinations are needed when they do get up here.
One of the big moments in the world of rescue is the transport day. That's the day that all these dogs arrive on the transport van, and it is often a very exciting day for the rescue community because you get to see sometimes the before and after of these dogs. It's amazing to see the community that comes together to just prepare for the arrival of every one of these dogs. The fosters will often join at a common meeting place depending on where the dogs are coming from, and everybody will come and pick up their foster dog. And then after that, the dogs are brought home with the fosters and they're given time to adjust. Sometimes the first 24 hours is a little rocky. The new dogs are scared. They may or may not have been in a home ever in their life. They may never seen carpet or hardwood floor. They may be used to eating food off of the ground and never have seen a food dish.
Once the dogs are up here and settled with the family, we ask all the fosters to make a bio on their dog. They take photos and they write something up with the dog's name, age, breed, how much they weigh, their personality, and we post them to our Facebook and our website. Once we have pre-approved adopters that are interested in the dogs, they go on the dog's list and we work from there to find the right home. Every single dog gets a meet and greet, whether at the foster's home or in the adopter's home, depending on if they have other pets. And once it's a good fit that's agreed upon by both the adopter and the foster, we finalize an adoption with them. I think that's probably some of our fosters' favorite times, is seeing the new homes for the dogs and seeing their new families. Some of them, you just notice a difference and they open up right away. And then my personal favorite is not necessarily that day, because it can be a little sad too, but getting the updates down the line. We get a lot of photos, videos from adopters. The dogs are happy. They're playing with their new families, their new canine siblings, and just loving life, and seeing the before and after from the shelter to once they're actually in a home getting love that they...
That's when you really get to see the before and after the transformation. So many of these dogs have never felt true love from a human, and it's amazing to see the resilience of the dogs and how they come out of their shell and bounce back, and it's finally the life they all deserve.
And I think as fosters, we see a little bit of their personality and we start to see them come out of their shell. But once they're in a home and they've been in there for quite a bit of time, it really comes out. We get the updates where we might have seen that they were a little bit playful, and then we find out that they are playing constantly with the dogs. They love going out to dog parks, meeting new people, which they might have still been scared when they were with us.
Oh, yeah.
It's just the full transformation. Once the dog is adopted, we collect a small adoption fee that covers some of their basic needs to get up to Buffalo, but it doesn't cover very much. People tend to think that the adoption fee covers everything for that dog and that we're actually making money off of it, and that is completely the opposite. The adoption fee barely covers the cost of one healthy dog who has no problems after they get up here. Those medical costs just aren't covered by adoption fees. Fundraising is how we are able to bring dogs up here. And that's all just the cost of dogs, not including the cost of transport, supplies, everything. Most of these dogs cost more than their adoption fees, and it's just with donations from the public, people who have adopted from us and work with our rescue still, and money from our own pockets and from our own volunteers that keep this place running so that we can continue to help more dogs.
We do often get the support from a larger, pet stores that help with things like donation of food. Sometimes it'll be collars and leashes, and those things are hugely valuable because that's money that we don't have to spend on those items. But the medical care is astronomical in caring for these dogs. And just as an estimate, and this is not even calculated, we have to date since our incorporation in November of 2018, to date we have saved over 230 dogs. And the vetting on those dogs is probably close to $30,000. And it is without the support of the community that we can continue to do this. And there's so many ways that you can donate.
Facebook campaigns we have constantly. We have raffles that are constantly going. The big fundraisers are obviously our main source of money to continue to save the dogs.
Yep. We just can't emphasize enough that it is without the continued support of this community that we can continue to do this work.
Fostering has been a very rewarding experience in a lot of ways because you're not only helping a dog, but you're also helping a person or a family. And you don't really realize that until you start doing it, which was a wonderful feeling for me, for all of my foster dogs. And the feeling of getting a dog that's scared from a shelter that might have been there for, like my first foster dog, for a year and a half, and getting them out and seeing their personality come through after being shut down is such a rewarding experience, and I really plan on doing it for the rest of my life.
My family fosters dogs to help them. One thing that I like about it is that we get to meet a bunch of different dogs and types of dogs. How it can help the people is that it can open up new experiences to the people, so then they can help save a dog too. It can help the dogs because so many dogs are lost and in need of home, shelter, and food and water and love.
We love that we get to save lives and help dogs that are in need or neglected, abandoned.
My favorite part of fostering is that I get to help dogs and I get to meet new types of breeds of dogs. And we get to help them and give them shelter until they can find a home that's right for them.
Fostering means helping a dog that either didn't have a chance at even surviving out of the shelter, and they could have been on a list to be put down, or it means just helping a dog heal before they find their forever home. And it's truly wonderful to help them heal and get to where they need to be to get adopted in a lot of situations.
One of our fosters, Blue, who got adopted, was very anxious and he didn't like being in a room alone. I usually like to have a companion in my room with me, as long as it's a dog, not my sister.
You truly get to see how amazing some of these adopters are. And one of the hard parts of being out in the rescue community is that the before is humans failing them. The after is the wonderful life that many of the wonderful adopters are giving these dogs a second chance. And it is amazing to see. You get the Christmas cards and the happy videos of the dog living the lake life, or, going on, being the captain of the rowing team. And it's a very cool thing to be a part of.
It's also great to see the fosters' reaction too. I mean, we just had an adoption event yesterday, and one of our former foster dogs was up there. He was in the dog park nearby, and the foster, who actually had him for almost a month or two, jumped the fence to the dog park and went sprinting after the dog because he was so excited to see him.
One of the hard parts is giving the dog away. When somebody goes in to adopt the dog, that's, you miss them and you get attached to them. But everything's provided. It's very easy to foster. They provide the food, treats, everything. It's not hard at all to take a cute little puppy into your home for a few weeks. It's very rewarding. Like I said, to know that you're saving lives and helping, these innocent, helpless puppies.
I like to throw balls around in the backyard with the dogs and just have them sit on my lap, and we sit on the couch and watch TV.
I truly love it. Everyone says, how can you give them away? And it doesn't even, I don't even think about it anymore, because even though I do get very attached, as anyone would, then I have another spot for another dog to come in. And it's just such a beautiful process. And I would say anyone that is unsure about it or doesn't quite know how it works or wants to try but is nervous, just try it with one dog, and I'm sure you're going to fall in love with it like I did.
Many, many people, including myself when I first started doing this, said, I could never do that. I could never give the dog up. And you would be amazed that some of the dogs that you never, ever, ever expect will touch your heart in a way that you can't even comprehend. And sometimes you go, I really want to foster that dog, because you think you're going to fall in love with them, and they're the ones you can't wait to leave.
Yep. And then you get the ones that you're like, I'm going to take this one, they need me, but I'm not going to love them, and then you keep them.
Yeah.
You can foster a puppy, you can foster an old dog, you can foster a lazy dog, you can foster an energetic dog. There's a foster dog for everyone out there, and it's at no cost to you. The rescue will help you with everything along the way. They just need a home most of the time. To be that person that helps in that way is so rewarding. And a lot of people think of it as you're helping dogs, but you're also helping people.
This is my dog Bennett. He was a rescue, and Danielle was actually the one who came and did my home visit and helped set up everything with Bennett to meet him and get approved.
You guys actually came to the transport that he arrived on.
We did. We came to transport met Bennett, met him in the foster home, then had a meet and greet with him at the house again because we met him, well, he was very shy when he first came up, so we met him in the foster home before he went in for surgery to get neutered, and then we got him adopted the day after neuter. So this is my foster, Tessa. So after adopting Bennett, I decided to get involved and I fostered Tessa. So she just came up from Alabama a week ago. I really wanted her because the shelter said how terrified she was and scared of everything. They said she was terrified of the world and just wanted to curl up in her kennel with a fuzzy blanket. Then for transport up here, it was done in legs from Alabama to Buffalo, where people drive for about an hour and a half and pass her off. So it was a rough 3 days for Tessa going from person to person to person.
Every single one of those people volunteers their time, and they just work to slowly get the dog here. They do it for about 6 hours a day so that it's not a long, strenuous, stressful process for the dogs. Many people always think that the only way you can help a rescue is by fostering, and that is absolutely not true. This truly takes a village of people to make this organization run smoothly. And there are a variety of different things that you can do to help a rescue organization. And all of these dogs find their forever home. And Brandon is one of our volunteers who does a variety of things to help the dogs and help the rescue. And I'm going to let him talk about the various ways that he currently volunteers and how it fits into his life and what it means to him.
All right. So I'm Brandon. I volunteer with Nickel City Canine Rescue. I help with a variety of things. I help transport dogs to and from events, process applications, go on and do home visits. I do some behind the scenes stuff with inputting everybody's information. So we have all that in our system. So we'll get the applications and a message will come out and listed with the areas that we have applications for. So we all kind of work together as a team. Some people just do calls. Some people go out and do the home visits like myself. So there'll be some reference checks on there. Vet checks, personal references. So after all those are done, we set up a home visit with a potential adopter, go out, ask them some questions, get to know them a little better. It's super easy and it's super fun to get out and about and learn more about them and the community and all that. So it's great.
We've always had pets. We've always, the entire family's very caring and pet friendly, so it just means a lot to us to know that we're helping in some small way.
In the few short months that I have been volunteering with Nickel City, I have gotten some of my friends to also come on board and volunteer to do home visits and applications and reference checks and stuff like that. So definitely, if you'd like to, give us a shout.
I don't have any dogs because I love being able to foster any dog that needs me.
I continue to do it because some days it's really hard, but the really hard days are outweighed by the number of happy days and the wonderful, wonderful people that adopt these dogs.